Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. I'm Julie, your host, and I'm so delighted you could join us this week. My intention in doing this show is to provide information, insight, and comfort to people all over the world by helping to answer life's unanswerable questions. We got a whole bunch of callers on hold, so we'll get them on in just a minute. Happy Mother's Day to everybody who's a mom out there or is pregnant or wants to be a mom or has been a mom. I am going to spend Mother's Day in New York City with our grandson, Eli, who's 18. He's graduating from high school next week, and he is going to be a theater major in college. So we are going to go see some shows. We're going to take a behind-the-scenes tour of Radio City Music Hall because there isn't anything playing there right now. So I think that sounds fun. Of course, he's a teenage boy, so he wants to go to the Nintendo store, and there's some pizza joint he wants to go to. We'll go to the Metropolitan Museum. And the highlight is one of my girlfriends, who's an actress and has starred in shows on Broadway, will join us for one of the shows and have dinner with us. So what a thrill for Eli to get to meet a real bona fide Broadway star. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend with your family. And if you're far away from your kids, I hope you at least get to talk to them or text or email with them or something along those lines. So let's go to the phones and let's see who we have on the line this evening. Hi.
Hi.
Elvisa? Is that your name?
Yes.
Hi,
yes.
Elvisia. Hi, Elvisia.
Yes.
How are you?
Hi.
You look like you're in the
Hi,
dark.
Julie.
Are you sleeping? Have you been sleeping?
No. I haven't. Yes. I called because I've been having hair loss since COVID, and now I've gone for a thyroid biopsy.
Oh.
And it has come back, but they didn't. It was undiagnosable. I have to go in 3 months. And on Monday, I'm going to the hematologist.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd just like to know what the hair loss, what the hair loss is from. I've tried going to the dermatologist, and nothing seems to get resolved.
Is it all of a sudden?
I'm taking. No, it's been for about 2 years.
Okay, since did you get the COVID shots?
I did.
Okay, so since you got those, that's when it started falling out?
No, just before that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay, but it seems to have gotten worse, or it's about the same for 2 years?
About the same. It just keeps on falling. It's a constant hair loss.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Where are you?
In Brampton, Ontario.
Okay, in Canada. All right.
Yes.
Terrific. Okay, all right. Pronounce your name again for me, Elvisia?
Elvisia, yes.
Elvisia.
Or Elvisia, whatever.
Okay,
yes.
Elvisia. Sounds Italian. Is it Italian?
It is.
Oh, aren't Italian words melodic? I love Italian words, names and other words. They're so melodic, like fettuccine, ravioli, instead of
and
Ryan.
The food especially.
Right, exactly. Oh my gosh. Although I love my name, but it's not melodic like an Italian name. Okay, I digress. I'm gonna hook into you, Elvisia, and then I'm gonna have a hologram of you in my mind's eye, and it'll be as if I'm looking at an X-ray or a CT scan or an MRI. And then the energy will be shot into you. Something will show up. I'll describe it in most likely some hilarious terms because that's just how the images come into my head. And that will be when there's a healing happening. Can you move over a little bit to your right? I just have half of you on my screen.
Okay.
There you go. That's better. Okay. So what we're going to do is here comes my laser beam from Sweet Home, Alabama, heading up to you in Canada. All right, got you shooting energy from your feet up through the top of your head. I get there's a thyroid thing going on, Helvetia. I also get that there's another hormone thing going on. How young are you?
I'm 67.
Okay. Are you on hormones? Are you on bioidentical hormones, estrogen, or any of that?
No.
Okay.
I'm
all right.
only on Synthroid.
Okay. I think this has more to do with your estrogen, testosterone hormones. And so what I've done is when I see a woman whose energy field looks like a wilting plant, I shoot some energetic estrogen into her and you just perk right up like a plant that's been watered. So I get this is more estrogen related and less thyroid related. I don't get at this point that you have thyroid cancer. I'm not getting that, but I'm getting that your hormones are not balanced properly. And so when some of those are off, it throws all the rest of them off. It's kind of like a symphony that those hormones work together. So what I would recommend, Helvetia, is go to Dr. Christiane Northrup's site. She's the fairy godmother of women's health.
Yes, I know her.
You'll learn a lot. You know her?
I've read her book.
Great. Her website is Dr. Northrup, NORTHRUP.com. So anybody listening, drnorthrup.com. And that will give you some information. In the meantime, what you want to do is call a compounding pharmacy in your area. Do you know what that is? A compounding pharmacy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
For those of you listening that don't, it's a pharmacy that makes prescriptions for the individuals. And call them and ask them who's prescribing bioidentical hormones through them. And then they'll give you some names. I prefer you go to a GYN if you can, because they're experts on female anatomy, and this affects female anatomy. So I would do that. I think this is a hormone thing. Easy to fix.
Okay.
Hope that helps.
Great.
Thanks for calling.
Thank you. Ciao, Julia. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. So let's see who our next caller is. Hi there.
Hi.
Hi, Sharon.
Surprise.
How are you? How are you doing?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Great. Where are you? What a beautiful backdrop you've got. Are you out in your backyard?
I am. It is beautiful. It is. You can probably hear the birds if we quiet down a bit.
Where do you live?
I'm in Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Terrific. Yes, ma'am. I can. You got a question for me?
I do. I originally was coming for energy field replacement. However, I got a phone call 3 days ago, and I think I'm more interested in that. I got a phone call on my cell phone while I was asleep. I don't have my phone with me, so I can't show you. But it was from my grandparents' old phone number.
Oh.
And yeah. And from the same town. I mean, it was a landline. This is like 30 years ago that this residence discontinued itself.
Wow.
And the people. So my grandparents have long since passed. However, I called it back, and literally the message was immediate. There was it didn't go through any system. It just went straight to number is no longer, it wasn't a number is no longer in service. It was, this is not a functional number. And boom, it hung up on me. I mean, it was not a normal. Anyway, it was, I don't know if you can bring messages through from.
Sure. Yeah.
I guess if it's, I mean, that's never really happened before. I've had some odd cell phone things before, but once before. So I just thought I should check on her and see what, after 30 years with really nothing, going on, this is kind of unusual. And it's my birthday. So maybe she was calling to wish me happy birthday.
There you go.
But that I can assume. I'm checking to see if she's got anything important that I should know?
She's letting you know she's around you. She's right next to you. She's on your right, your grandmother. I love that. I love that that they called you. And I've heard that, I wouldn't say many times, but several times from people that stuff like that happens. Either there's something going on in your life that maybe involves a loved one who's ill or some kind of stressful situation. They're just letting you know they're around. Or to your point, I've heard of this on holidays and birthdays and things like that. So it's just her letting you know that she's around. Was she a good cook? She's talking about you cooking her recipes. Do you cook stuff that she taught you to cook?
Well, I'm sure she's the one who taught my mother, and my mother taught me. So it might be the vegetable soup recipe. That would
Okay.
I would lean. Yes, and I have improved. It is awesome.
You've improved the recipe, or you've just improved as a cook?
Generations. Yes, it does improve with time.
Oh my
It's always
gosh.
better on day 2, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. All those flavors marinate, right? No, she's saying she loves when you cook her recipes. So I guess it's the vegetable soup.
Yeah, it must. I mean, I'm trying to think of it's been 30 years. It's been 30 years. And my mother's now 83. Part of me was wondering if she was trying to let me know that anything's going on with my mom.
Does she live close by?
The what?
Does she live close by?
My mom? Yeah, she's in Frederick.
Okay. That was the first thought that I had too, was that she was alerting you, kind of a heads up, pay attention kind of a thing. Has your mom fallen recently?
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that you're aware of.
Okay, she's talking something like that.
Yeah, she's talking about falls. So she's saying pay attention to make sure that everything is accessible in the house to prevent falls.
Okay.
Yeah. Does your mom still live in her own home?
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
At 83.
Yeah. Good for her. So do you have like shower rails in the shower and handrails and things like that?
I think she does, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
your grandmother wants you to check on that. She wants you to check on that kind of stuff. She's saying just be smart about things that can help your mom and help her prevent falls.
That makes sense.
And happy birthday, you get better with age, she said.
Yeah, not this week. Maybe next week.
Yeah. Oh,
it was lovely. Thank you for checking on her with me.
You bet.
And
What a
Grandpa's
great
not there.
birthday call. What a great birthday call. What a great birthday call.
Yes, it was lovely. And that phone call was, so that does happen.
It does. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
In that case, hi, Grandma.
I just talked to a woman earlier today who told me that their stereo came on blaring really loud music in the middle of the night at 4 in the morning recently. And she said the alarm didn't go off. I mean, nothing was out of place. And she thought that was so bizarre. And then so they went back to bed. And she said when she woke up later in the morning, she found out that one of her dear friends had passed at 4 a.m. And she said, do you think that she was stopping by to say goodbye? I said, you bet she was. That's exactly what was happening. So thanks for calling, Sharon. Happy birthday.
Well, thank you. And you have a lovely evening.
Oh, how fun. Spirits can manipulate electrical things. And the stories are just endless. So remember, it's the first thing that comes in your head. As fast as you can snap your fingers, that's spirit giving you a message. And so you want to pay attention to that. Usually what we do is we We think, oh, that's just my imagination. No, it's not your imagination. It's really what you think, that first thing that comes into your head. We do this show every Thursday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 5 Pacific. We've got a new link that makes it really easy to join. It's AskJulieRyanShow.com. AskJulieRyanShow.com. So just go on there and click on that link. It's on my website. It's on social media. Everything's at Ask Julie Ryan. And you'll be able to join us. And then I'll be able to see your cute face when you're asking a question, which I love. This is our second week doing this. So it's been really fun to figure all this stuff out. We're still figuring out the technical stuff. So thanks for bearing with us on some of this. Okay, this information is available on my website, AskJulieRyan.com. And in the show notes, you can download the show anywhere you get podcasts. We're also on Alexa and YouTube. Be sure and leave a review anywhere you listen to or watch the show, because that automatically enters you into a free session with me, into a drawing for a free session with me valued at $250. And then I get you for a whole hour and we can talk about whatever you want, which is really fun. Let's see, what else? I send out a newsletter, like a blog, every Wednesday night. And so be sure that you're signed up for that. That's a question somebody has submitted online, and then I answer it. And while you're on my website, AskJulieRyan.com, sign up for an appointment. And I'm booked out a little bit, but you know the trick. Get on the calendar whenever it's available, and then keep your confirmation email, and periodically click on the reschedule button on your confirmation email, and it will show you earlier dates and times as they become available, which they do multiple times each week. And then people usually get in within a matter of days. So there's that. Let's see what else. Training. Angelic Attendant Training Atlanta, November 3rd through the 5th, the weekend. That's going to be just a blast. We're going to raise the roof down there with the high vibe, and you'll get to meet all kinds of fun people that are interested in this woo-woo stuff. And it's really fun to be in a crowd of people with common interests, because we all grow and learn together. And then, of course, my Angels and Enlightenment trainings online. That's self-paced, and you can continue to do that. So everything you need is at AskJulieRyan.com. Also, reminder, if you're on waiting for to ask a question, you've got to be on the camera so we can see you. And if you don't want to ask a question, please hang up so somebody who wants to ask a question can get in, because we've got some limited phone lines on that. Okay, the question this week that I answered comes from Vic, and Vic lives in Apex, North Carolina. And Vic says, "Hi, Julie. I have a very sick pet named Miles who is dear to me and has a cancerous tumor. I'm trying to save him and feel very conflicted. I'm very, very upset and don't have the clarity needed to deal with this situation. Time is of the essence, so I appreciate any guidance you can offer me, even if it means I send him to heaven. I don't know what to do and don't want to make the wrong decision. My friend told me that you could assist me. Please help, Julie. Warm regards, Vic." Here's my response. "Hi, Vic. So sorry to hear about Miles. To get some guidance for you, I first energetically connected to you and then from you to Miles. At the end of life, humans and animals' spirits exit the top of the head and stay attached in a bubble configuration. Looks like a speech bubble. Energetic healing only happens when the spirit is inside the body. At this moment, Miles' spirit is in his body, which means he isn't dying at this very moment when I was scanning him, which was yesterday. So with that in mind, I asked Miles the following questions. Are you ready to go? He said, not quite yet. Are you in pain? He said, at times, but it isn't unbearable. I asked him, do you want to be euthanized? And he said, eventually. Lastly, I asked Miles how he'd let you know when he wanted to go to heaven. He replied, quote, when I stop eating and drinking and sleep most of the time. Miles also told me he did not want cancer treatment. Hope this information helps you enjoy the time you have left with your beloved pet. So, Vic, I hope that helps. I always ask 3 questions to humans. Are you ready to, when they're dying? Are you ready to go? Are you in pain? What do you need? And I also ask that to pets and to animals. Are you ready to go? Are you in pain? What do you need? And they give me answers, and they can be all across the board. So that's just a standard question and answer session that I do with everybody, and teach all my students to do the same thing when they're working with somebody who has a loved one who's dying. So, all right, let's go back to the phones and see who's next. Hi, Kevin.
Hi. I'd just like to say thank you very much for taking my call and for helping everybody every week on Thursdays.
You are so
Really
welcome. Where are you? Where are you located?
I'm in Cookstown, Ontario, Canada. The second caller from Canada today.
Wow, we got a Canadian thing going on tonight. I love it.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah. Well, you got a question for me?
I do. I'm calling on behalf of my grandmother. Her name is Margaret. She lives in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. And she's been dealing with a lot of pain related to a surgery she had in 2016. She had surgery for a prolapsed bladder. And unfortunately, the outcome of the surgery causes her a lot of pain and spasms. And the basically medication is not quite able to reduce her pain enough. So she's got high blood pressure, and it's starting to affect her kidneys as well, I believe, if I got all that correct. So I'm just interested in, what you do best, if there's anything you can do to help relieve some of that pain for her. She's 91 years old.
Oh, God love her, and God love you for being her helper and calling in. So obviously you cleared it with her that I'm going to scan her, right? She knows a little bit about what's going on.
No, she doesn't. Is that okay?
Yeah, I'll ask her. We'll see if she can.
Okay, great.
She's, So I'm going to connect into you first, and then from you to your grandmother. What do you call her?
Yeah, I call her Grandma. That's what I call her.
Grandma. Okay, all right. That's original.
Yeah.
I'm a Mimi because I don't want to be called Grandma. I don't know. It's just not my style. So I'm a Mimi. So when I do stuff with the grandkids, we call it Mimi Adventures. So I don't know if you heard me say I'm going to do a Mimi adventure in New York City this weekend. All right, here we go. Here comes my laser beam from Sweet Home, Alabama, heading up to you in Canada, and then from you to Grandma Margaret. Margaret, I'm talking to your grandson. He wants me to scan you energetically. Is that okay? She goes, oh, yes. All right, cool. Good job on that, Kevin. Even if you didn't say anything to her, she picked up your vibe on that. Okay, so got her on my radar. Do you know if they used mesh in her bladder surgery?
I do recall that.
That's what's causing the problem, is the mesh.
Yeah.
So, yeah. She's got a bunch of scar tissue around it. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting that out. I close my eyes, Kevin, because I get less distracted and I can get a better picture in my eyes. So I go in and out with that. So scar tissue looks like that fake spider web material that you see at Halloween. It comes in a bag, and you can pull it out of the bag and stretch it out, put it on a window or on a bush or something. That's what scarred tissue looks like. So I'm cutting it out around that mesh, and bladder's okay. Bladder's holding up, but it's the mesh that's causing the problem. So what's the doctor saying about that?
I recall it was something to the lines that the surgery just, the outcome wasn't, it was in, probably one of those percentages that they haven't really said that they're going to try and change that. They've just been trying to deal with the pain. So
Okay. Because they don't want to operate her on her at this point?
Yeah, I guess so, since it was 2016 when they did this procedure.
Okay. So what I'm watching happen is I'm watching that get taken out energetically, and I'm watching a new kind of a sling. The mesh acts as kind of a sling to keep the bladder up. I'm watching a new sling get generated with stem cell energy. And imagine if you look at a piece of gauze, like a dressing that you'd use on a wound, you can see the vertical and the horizontal threads on it. That's what I'm watching get woven in a sling to replace this mesh that's in there. And so that's getting installed. Bladder's getting tacked up a little bit too. And that's being sewn in. So energetically, she's had it removed and had a new support system put in. So hopefully that will help her. There's a product called the Zona, Z-O-N-A, Zona Plus, Z-O-N-A. And if you go to zonazona.com, Kevin, and in the code, put in Julie Ryan, altogether, no space, Julie Ryan. The Zona is a device that kind of reminds me of a video game controller, and you squeeze it with your hand, and it's got a timer on it, and then you release it, and then you do it again and release it. And it helps regulate the vascular system and helps reduce and eliminate high blood pressure. It's an amazing device. It was developed from technology with fighter pilots, because when they're going Mach, they're taught to grab the joystick in the cockpit and squeeze it to help their bodies pull the G-forces when they're going Mach speed. So that technology was developed into this device because they saw that these pilots that tended towards high blood pressure, their blood pressure normalized when they were, doing that speed. Yeah. So Zona, Z-O-N, Z as in zebra, O-N as in Nancy, A.com. And the checkout code is Julie Ryan, Julieryan.
Okay.
I would look into that for her, see if that can help in the meantime, because the medicine probably is driving her nuts, right? The medicines, she's got side effects from it.
Yeah, there's plenty of side effects, and it's not capable of stopping the amount of pain that she has. That's the main problem.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't think the Zona is going to stop the pain, but I think the Zona is going to help her blood pressure.
Great. That's a great tip. Thank you very much, Julie.
Bye, Kevin. Okay, let's see who our next caller is. Hi, Andrea.
Oh, hi, Julie.
Hi, girl. How are you?
Oh, I am wonderful. I'm so sorry. I've been trying to log in online and on the phone. It's my first time. So I was introduced to you recently, and I'm excited to hopefully have a little guidance.
Well, I'm delighted to get to meet you. Where are you located?
I live in Easley, South Carolina.
Okay, terrific. Well, you got a question for me?
I do. My mother-in-law is going to be having surgery in a very hard, trivial spot, if you will, underneath her right earlobe. And it is about a 4.5-inch tumor. And I felt fine. I've kind of written it off and like, oh, it's just a tumor, and it's going to be removed. However, the last visit at the doctor, he voiced his distress himself and his nervousness, and taking lots of extra precautions because of the risk of catastrophic events happening. So ever since then, I feel this really bad energy.
Like what? He's worried about the nerves in the face and that kind of thing?
I think he's worried that she's going to have like a blood clot. Like it's going to go like stroke, vegetable. I think he thinks it's going to go great or it's going to go really bad.
Yikes. Well, that's tough to go into a surgery like that. What's her name?
Sure. Her name's Gail.
Gail. All right. Let me get her on my radar. I'm going to connect into you, Andrea, and then I'll connect into Gail from you, and we'll see what's going on with her. So comes my laser beam from Sweet Home, Alabama, and then I'll connect into your mama from there. Who's your buddy that I can hear in the background?
I'm so sorry. It's my 2-year-old.
No.
She is a mess.
Great. What's her name?
Her name is Zinley.
Oh, cute. No, she sounds darling. I heard her like Call of the Wild. It's like, hey, I'm here too. Oh my God. That's what I always say when we're in church. Usually at Christmas time, we go to the kids' service and they're so excited Christmas Eve and it's just noisy as heck. And I always say, yeah, Call of the Wild with all these restless kids in here. How fun.
Yes.
All right. Okay. I've got your mom on my radar. All right. Do I have permission to scan you? I'm talking to your beautiful daughter and I can hear your grandbaby in the background. She's saying yes. Okay. So got the tumor looks big to me. Is it visible?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And it grew pretty quickly.
Yeah.
The biopsy was inconclusive. Radiation won't help.
Yeah. It looks benign to me. It looks pink to me. So it just looks like a big glob of tissue that's grown really fast from what you're saying. So I'm getting it encapsulated. It's got a really good blood supply to it. That's what he's worried about, because that's how tumors grow, is they've got a big blood supply going to them. So what I'm watching is that get cauterized. Andrea, it's okay if she comes on. It's fine. I'm watching that get cauterized and then watching that tumor get removed. So cauterized means that I'm watching spirit burn where the blood connection is, just to kind of close it off. So got that going. Okay. Getting it removed. All right. Watching the skin get put back into place and all the tissue and stuff. Oh, this is interesting. I haven't seen this before. It's like a infrared light going on the side of her neck and it's shrinking the skin back so that it contracts back to where it was. So she doesn't have this big like pocket of skin hanging out. Like when you pop a blister on your heel and then you got that skin from the blister left until it reabsorbed. I usually cut it off, but that's what I'm watching. Yeah, I'll cut around the blister. Okay. I think she's going to do just fine. I don't have any foreboding feelings about it at all. I think she's going to be a champ. I think she's going to do just fine. I think the surgeon's going to do just fine. Are they doing it outpatient or are they going to keep her?
There's actually going to be a vascular surgeon, a cardiologist surgeon, her ENT cancer surgeon. There's going to be so many people, just from the risk standpoint, just bleeding. That's free bleed. I think that's the biggest. So, she has an army behind her. I don't know. I don't know if it's my fear or what, but it makes me so sad.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's scary because that's a big ass surgery. Excuse my French. That just came out.
Oh, no, that's okay.
That's a big old surgery that's getting ready to happen. When's she going to have it done?
At the end of June.
Okay. All right. So focus on a really good outcome. I want you to use your imagination to picture her post-op doing great. She's, back to normal. Everything's good. We are all hardwired for fear, and we tend to use our imaginations to envision things that we don't want to happen. Right. And then that just keeps us in more fear. So just keep picturing what you want. Keep picturing her healthy, happy, doing great. And I believe she's going to do just fine. I'm glad you have all those surgeons. Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Let us know how she does.
Oh my God, of course. My sister exposed me to you, her and her boyfriend. And so he actually let you know about his ashes a while back when you found his dog's ashes. So
yeah.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck to you and your mama, and give that baby a big kiss.
I sure will. Thank you.
Okay. Bye, Andrea.
Bye-bye.
So that's it for this week. Thanks to everybody that called in. We will continue to get all the technical stuff perfected, and to all the moms out there and wannabe moms and expecting moms, happy Mother's Day. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Sending y'all lots of love from Sweet Home, Alabama. Mwah. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to follow Julie on Instagram and YouTube at Ask Julie Ryan, and like her on Facebook at Ask Julie Ryan. To schedule an appointment or submit a question, please visit AskJulieRyan.com.
This show is for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be medical, psychological, financial, or legal advice. Please contact a licensed professional. The Ask Julie Ryan Show, Julie Ryan and all parties involved in producing, recording, and distributing it assume no responsibility for listeners' actions based on any information heard on this or any Ask Julie Ryan shows or podcasts.